This is RTV6 News at 7, working for you.
Now at 7, RTV6 working on 2 developing stories in central Indiana. The first on the city's south side of Indianapolis. 1 person dead, another in critical condition after a shooting near Southport Road and US 31. IMPD says officers were called to the scene around 4:30 and they found the deceased victim in a vehicle. The other victim was taken to the hospital. We're still waiting to learn what led to that shooting and whether police are searching for any suspects in that case. The other developing story at this moment on the city's northeast side, a child seriously hurt after getting hit by a car. Now this happened around 5 near East 38th Street and Sherman Drive. IMPD says in this case the driver of the vehicle remained on the scene and is cooperating with investigators. Tonight a woman is out of jail back at home after she was held in custody all weekend for a crime she did not commit. On Friday, Kristen Parr's brother reached out to RTV6 for help. Parr's driver's license was stolen back in February, and it was recently used for a second time to test drive a car that was never returned to the dealership. An arrest warrant was issued, and all police had was Parr's license information. Greenfield police arrested Parr, though she tried to explain that she was the victim of identity theft. Despite that, she spent 3 nights in the Hancock County Jail, something her brother says has been extremely frustrating.
You're angry, you're trying to explain your side of the story, you're trying to say, hey, this isn't right, this isn't me, and it's falling on deaf ears. I think there's a lot of anger, right? I mean, it's just not right. It's one of those things that's hard to describe.
Today, RTV6 learned the Hancock County Prosecutor's Office dismissed all the charges against Kristen. She was released this morning and went right to work. RTV6 will continue to investigate exactly why this happened and hold those people accountable for this situation. RTV6 is also working to get answers from a school after a frustrated mother came to us for help. She says her kids were lunch shamed and wants the policy to change right away. Shayna Lawson says her 2nd and 5th grade daughters came home crying from Harney Elementary School in Lebanon last week. She says she did not reload money on their lunch accounts and that the cafeteria workers took their food away in front of everyone, including students who then teased the girls.
You should never take food away from an innocent child. It's awful. They were so upset they didn't want to go to school. They were crying, Mom, please just homeschool me, Mom. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I wish I could.
So Lebanon Community Schools says there is an alternate menu available to students who have no money on their accounts. And the district says it sends parents twice weekly notifications about low balances. But Lawson says snatching a child's meal away in front of their classmates isn't acceptable no matter what. Now, some local school districts like Greenfield Central Community School Corporation have recently changed their policies to prevent what's called lunch shaming. There, the students are allowed to charge regular meals indefinitely, and after 20 days of non-payment, the district sends parents to collections. If you need help with a problem and you're running into some red tape, connect with us here at RTV6. Send us an email at workingforyou@rtv6.com. We'll see if we can get to the bottom of things and help you out of that situation. Now at 7, what a difference a weekend can make. Wow, it is beautiful out there. Fall-like weather is making itself very comfortable, and we're comfortable. Storm Team 6 Chief Meteorologist Kevin Gregory with a look at that beautiful sight in downtown Indianapolis. Hey, Kevin.
If you're comfortable, I'm comfortable. We're all comfortable with this kind of humidity. Just 33%. The air is dry. 67, that's our temperature. The wind is light out of the northwest, and the stage is set as these winds stay calm with that dry air for the temperature to really fall off. What I love about this time of year, you can really stretch the temperature out from morning low to afternoon high. We had clouds around this morning for your drive to work. This evening, skies are clear and temperatures are comfortable. 67 in Howard County and in Clinton County, anywhere from Frankfort to Kokomo. To the south, temperature right at 70 degrees in the warm spots. Over the next couple of days, our temperatures will slowly warm up. I just thought of this. A week ago today, we hit 92 for the high. Today, a lot more comfortable. Through the evening hours, it will happen fairly quickly. 11 o'clock tonight down to 56, and then in the morning, lower 40s to the north. 42 Lafayette on over to Kokomo and Marion, Central Indiana, 45 in Indy, but surrounding spots a degree or two cooler than that, and southern Indiana in the lower 40s as well. We'll talk about big temperature change later in the week coming up.
And new today, House Democrats have issued 2 more subpoenas in the impeachment inquiry against President Trump. ABC's Mona Kozar Abdi reports the news comes as a second whistleblower steps up with first-hand information regarding President Trump's phone call with Ukraine's leader.
Today, a major development in the impeachment inquiry against President Trump. House Democrats issuing a new pair of subpoenas, this time to the heads of the Defense Department and the Office of Management and Budget. In a letter, the House chairs requested information regarding the Trump administration's decision to delay military aid to Ukraine. Writing the documents are necessary, quote, to examine the sequence of these events and the reason behind the White House's decision. The request comes as a second whistleblower has now emerged.
We are tremendously dependent on people of courage stepping forward.
The unnamed member of the intelligence community claims to have firsthand information about the president's efforts to push Ukraine to investigate his political rival Joe Biden and his son.
The impeachment inquiry is a scam. The conversation that I had with the Ukrainian president, Zelensky, was a very good it was a very cordial, very good conversation.
A request the president again made publicly just days ago, this time also calling on China to investigate Biden. Some Republicans say the president was clearly joking.
I know the president asked China to investigate.
We know they're not, George. Come on.
Meanwhile, Senator Lindsey Graham is putting the pressure back on the whistleblowers, saying Trump should be able to confront his accusers.
The whistleblower's allegations are turned into an impeachment article. It's imperative that the whistleblower be interviewed in public under oath and cross-examined.
And on Capitol Hill Tuesday, Gordon Sondland, the U.S. ambassador to the European Union, will testify before 3 House committees leading the impeachment probe. Sondland was among those on text exchanges discussing dealings with Ukraine turned over to the House. Mona Kozar Abdi, ABC News, Washington.
The GM strike now entering its 4th week, and negotiations have stalled over job security. The automakers union is asking General Motors to commit to building certain models or parts at their factories over the 4-year contract. But they say the latest proposal from GM does not address this at all. The strike is hurting both sides financially. And GM is losing about $80 million a day, and workers are making about a fifth of their salaries. For the 6th year in a row, Indianapolis International Airport is claiming the top spot in a national ranking. The Condé Nast Traveler Reader's Choice Awards named the airport the best in the nation. Indy International has also been recognized by Travel and Leisure magazine as its favorite domestic airport, and J.D. Power as the highest rated medium-sized airport in the country. Airport leaders say these honors help attract more nonstop flights, airlines, conferences, businesses, as well as conventions. Coming up on the news at 7, the nation's top court about to get back to work with some controversial cases on the docket. We'll take a look at what's at stake as the court considers discrimination in the workplace. Plus, the nation is facing a major shortage of one of essential health professionals, why women in particular are facing a tougher battle and what it means for Central Indiana. That and much more as the news at 7 continues right here on RTV6.
Weekdays from 6 to 10 a.m.
The U.S. Supreme Court will be back in session tomorrow, and justices will hear arguments about a landmark abortion case out of Louisiana and the court's first related case to Second Amendment rights in nearly a decade. But first on the agenda, 3 related cases about LGBTQ rights in the workplace. 2 men say they were fired because they are gay, and a woman says she was let go while she was transitioning. Discrimination based on sexuality or gender identity is not clearly prohibited by federal law, and states and courts have been split on this issue. Our Corey Rangel talked to a woman who says she's watching this case closely after she lost her job.
We're in it for the long haul. It has been 6 years since Amy Stevens lost her job at this funeral home in Michigan. Her boss fired her after she transitioned from a man to a woman.
I got mad because I felt I'd been done wrong. and that's why we pursued the court case we're in.
Tomorrow morning, her case will be heard in front of the U.S. Supreme Court. The justices will hear arguments on whether a federal law that bans job discrimination on the basis of sex applies to transgender people.
Don't let anybody else tell you what you should be or what you are.
But attorneys for Stevens' former boss say he had the right to fire Stevens because the law does not include protection for gender identity.
What we're talking about is whether the term sex in federal employment law means biological sex, as it has since the law was first enacted, or whether it's going to be changed to include gender identity.
As part of the same case, the Supreme Court justices will also look at whether the federal law banning discrimination in the workplace should include sexual orientation, after two men say they were fired for being gay. Over the weekend, people started lining up for Tuesday's hearing. The case is being called one of the most consequential and controversial issues of the term. A decision, though, is not expected until spring or summer of next year. In Washington, D.C., I'm Corey Rangel reporting.
Coming up on the news at 7, dozens of churches opening their doors to immigrants facing deportation. We'll talk to one woman living in sanctuary. But first, let's check in with Kevin Gregory at the Weather Wall. Hey, Kevin.
And you know the saying, Raphael, what goes up must come down. Temperatures rising most of the work week, and then the big change just before the weekend. Back after this.
For less.
This is RTV6 News at 7, working for you.
Now at 7, numbers show that women have fewer options when it comes to health care. But despite the nation's shortage of OBGYNs, Indianapolis is among the top cities where women are facing the least risk. A new study finds the number of doctors decreasing rather fast. The study by the American Congress of Obstetricians and Gynecologists projects a shortage of close to 9,000 doctors by next year and a shortfall of 22,000 OBGYNs by the year 2050. Groups all over the country are taking in undocumented immigrants, providing them a place for them to seek sanctuary. Our Lisa Nieves is asking activists why they believe that work is critical.
At least 28 churches around the country have now opened their doors to people fearing sudden deportation and family separation. First Unitarian Church in Denver was one of the first.
We have received threats. We've received bomb threats. We've received personal threats.
The danger of protecting people evading immigration and customs enforcement has become so real that at this church and others, when a person is in sanctuary now,
we have people at the doors almost 24 hours a day.
An entire network of people like Randy Chase.
So I come and push on the door, and I'm done with that door.
The 69-year-old on the surface seemed upbeat as he made his rounds, checking that all the church doors were locked.
And make sure it's latched.
It wasn't until he passed by this sign on one door, instructing him what to do should ICE come knocking, that the worry came to the surface.
And these instructions envision talking to officials and officers through the door, through this crack in the door, and passing papers back and forth through the door, which is a sort of an unnatural way to talk.
Randy is friendly and polite. Should an ICE officer come to the door, he fears he might instinctively open it, and ICE would use that as an invitation to enter.
What is my response going to be?
Immigration and Customs Enforcement officers have come under scrutiny in the past for what some critics say are tricky tactics. Randy is concerned that could happen to Jeanette Vizquera, the woman he is trying to protect.
Soy activista.
Okay.
Por más de 25 años.
Vizquera has spent those 2.5 decades in the States unable to get citizenship. She currently has an order of stay that allows her to remain here, but is in sanctuary because she does not trust that ICE will adhere to that order in her case.
Hay como 10 personas alrededor del país que somos muy vocales, que somos target. A mí me monitorean mis redes sociales.
For now, the church is her safest place as she fights her immigration case and fights for her future.
Veo mi futuro seguir ayudando a la gente porque es mi naturaleza. Ese es mi reto, lograr soluciones al tema de inmigración.
I'm Alicia Nieves.
Now at 7, we are basking in fall weather, and we are starting to see it and feel it. Here's a real-time look from Brown County State Park with the Brown County leaf cam. The leaves are only just starting to turn, but as you can imagine, in a matter of weeks, it will be a fantastic foliage spectacular, which you can keep watching right there on leaf cam. Every time I think of Brown County, I think of a couple of things. Kevin G, fall, of course, this time of year, food, and fudge. In that order.
You've got your favorite spot to go to get some fudge, huh?
Near the Hobnob restaurant down the hill. Fudge.
That's funny. There's a cookie in England, they're called Hobnobs, and their little their motto is one nibble and you're nobbled. Hobnobs. So, all right, we are way off track here, I'd say. We had rain yesterday. That's a big deal. All of September, it was the third driest on record. We had less than a half an inch. So we'll take a quarter of an inch and move on and start a new dry stretch. Notice it's Monday, but I'm skipping to Friday. That's the next real event. We're on cruise control the next several days here with lots of sunshine and gradually warmer temperatures. But by Friday, just to our west, a strong cold front. What do I mean by strong? The temperature difference behind this, 20 to 30 degrees in some places. It's cold enough for snow. Nebraska up into the Dakotas. For us, rain and some thunderstorms. The strength of the storms may be determined by the timing of the cold front when it comes through Friday afternoon or Friday evening. Temperatures, the warmer it feels Thursday and Friday, the cooler it will feel for college football on Saturday and any other activities you have outside. Tonight, obviously, sky is clear now. It will stay that way. The wind is light, and with the dry air, that sets us up for temperatures to tumble all the way into the mid-40s. Temperatures now generally in the 60s, 66 in Lafayette, 64 in Columbus. No real temperature range. We're all in the same ballpark. Eastern Indiana through the day waited longer to get the sunshine, and so temperatures lagged a little bit there. This is not the coolest morning in the forecast, but cool enough. You might convince the kids to take a jacket to the bus stop tomorrow. It'll be a tough sell, but then maybe later in the week they'll get the hang of it. As you look at the forecast tomorrow, lots of sunshine will quickly move that temperature up to 71 by 4 o'clock in the afternoon. By 1 o'clock, just after lunch, we should be in the upper 60s. During the morning hours tomorrow, lots of sunshine, 66 at noon, as we mentioned. Afternoon temperature just above average for this time of year. 69 is our average high, and most everybody will be at or slightly above that. International Space Station, this will be great. The conditions will be perfect tomorrow night for you to go out with the family, watch the space station fly over, and I'll remind you tomorrow evening, I just want to give you a heads up that we'll be talking more about this, and I've got this on my Facebook page as well. Temperatures Wednesday a little warmer, 74 degrees for the afternoon high. Temperatures to the south and west slightly warmer than that. Then that big change comes as we go to the weekend. The chance for showers and thunderstorms potentially impacting some Friday night football games. It's awfully early to talk specific timing, but it will be mild Friday before it is much cooler Saturday for the highs, and we'll watch. I think spots will be in the 30s Sunday morning and Monday morning outside of Indianapolis.
We need to go on a road trip to Brown County with a GoPro and do a zip line when those leaves turn colors. You and I just,
there you go.
What do you think?
And I'd do it.
You in?
I also think in Brown County about horseback riding, you know?
Okay.
Brown County State Park.
And don't forget the fudge. Kevin, thank you so much. Still ahead, thousands of jobs up for grabs. RTV6 is hiring Hoosiers with the details to get you connected to all of those jobs. But first, a live look outside as that beautiful sunset is taking place. The news at 7 continues right after this.
Order yours today at WeatherTech.com.
So let's talk jobs. RTV6's Hiring Hoosiers is always looking for ways to help you connect with training resources and jobs throughout Central Indiana. This week, Eskenazi Health is hosting a nurse networking career event. It's open to all registered nurses and new RN graduates with 2 sessions. That first session is at 3 p.m. The other session is at 4:30 in the afternoon. That's Wednesday at the Eskenazi Outpatient Care Center. And then holiday hiring fairs happening this weekend. Best Buy, the big retailer, hoping to hire thousands of people. It's holding national hiring fairs this Thursday and Friday from noon to 7. And here's the good news about all this. You could get hired on the spot there at Best Buy when you go to that event both on Thursday and on Friday, October 10th and 11th. And Dick's Sporting Goods plans to hire nearly 150 seasonal employees in Central Indiana as part of its National Signing Day. That happening on October the 16th. So next week, a very busy week, and that's happening next Wednesday. For all of that information, you can find all the details and links to apply by going to our website, hiringhoosiers.com. Go to the Career Resources section where you'll find all of that great information. Good luck on getting that job.
You say seasonal hiring, that means the holiday is not far. Let's talk about temperatures tomorrow morning. We were at 92 a week ago today. 72 is our high today, and you'll wake up to a refreshing temperature of around 45 tomorrow.
Mark and Amanda tonight at 11. Have a good evening.